Hello everyone, and welcome to Tell Me Another, Dead Air, a cross-channel horror audio series. This is episode 5 in that series. If you have not listened to the first episode, please go to the link in the video and listen to the first one. All episodes are out now, so be sure to go through and listen to all of them. This is episode 5, The Black Pour. Hopefully you enjoy. So sit back, relax, and hopefully this won't happen to you. Alright, listen. I love doom and gloom as much as the next cursed narrator, but how about we take a break from whispering death and actually, I don't know, cheers to something?
Cheers to what? Spirits that possess reel-to-reel tech?
Cheers to being together. Still breathing. Mostly. Come on, firecracker. Just one.
You brought that bottle with you?
I thought so.
It looks old.
Doesn't smell like anything.
Someone is walking out there. Out this window. I saw movement.
Animal?
Head-shaped. Too still.
Whoever it was, they were watching. There's footprints in the grass.
Or listening?
It's definitely time for a drink.
Guess I've been volunteered. Alright, gather around, my gloomy little ghoul squad. This one's called The Black Pour. And if I start slurring halfway through, that's not the drink talking. It's something I've been trying not to remember. I couldn't tell you what I was walking toward. Not that night. It was one of those evenings that folds over itself. Cold enough to bite, but not to bleed. Quiet enough that your own thoughts start sounding like background noise. I'd been drinking since dusk. Not out of despair or celebration, just habit. You know the kind. The kind where the clink of the bottle cap hitting the table feels like punctuation. I just left the bar. I don't remember the name of it. I think I was asked to leave. I say asked, but someone was definitely yelling, and I was definitely laughing too loud for whatever song was playing. I remember the look the bartender gave me as I walked out. Not annoyed, not worried. Pity. City fog had settled in thick by then, yellow lit and oily under the street lamps. I walked without a destination, hands buried in my coat pockets, collar up, breathing through my teeth. And then, the alley. Narrow, out of place, like someone forgot to finish drawing this part of the city. There was a door, wooden, old, no handle, just a brushed brass hinge and the suggestion of the frame cut into the brick. A little lantern hung crooked above it, flickering like it was gasping. I stopped, not because it called to me, nothing that poetic. I stopped because I didn't remember turning that direction. 1 minute I was walking east, towards the river. The next, I was standing in front of a door that looked older than the city. That's when I heard it. Not a voice, not music, just a sound I know by heart. The gentle slide of a board, thick liquid against glass. I don't knock. The door opens. It doesn't creak, doesn't moan. Just parts like it had been waiting for me to catch up. Inside was... It's hard to explain. It didn't feel like a bar. It felt like the idea of a bar. The platonic ideal of dark wood, low lights, and don't ask questions. Candles flickering in fogged sconces. A long mirrorless counter. Shelves of bottles, none with labels, all shaped wrong, like they'd been made by hands that weren't quite human. No one else inside. No music, no bartender. Just a single stool at the center of the bar. The only thing in that room not covered by dust. And above the counter, written in clean, steady chalk on a hanging slate board, the rules. Number 1, drink what is poured. Number 2, leave what is owed. Number 3, speak of nothing you wish to keep. Number 4, exit without looking back. I read them twice. Then again, not because I didn't understand. I did. Too well. Because I was already halfway to the stool, and my legs didn't remember deciding to move. I sat. The stool groaned under my weight, like it hadn't held a person in a long time. Or maybe, like it only ever held me. A glass appeared. I didn't see it placed. It wasn't there, and then it was. Short tumbler, heavy cut glass, filled to the brim with something the color of smoke tapped in ink. The smell hit before I touched it. Not alcohol, not exactly. It smelled like my grandmother's living room on the last day I saw her. Cinnamon and wool and a television humming from the next room. It smelled like my first hangover, sour and sharp and burnt with the shame. It smelled like something I couldn't name, but that made my throat tighten. I picked up the glass. It was cold, but it radiated heat. Not temperature, memory. And when I drank, it tasted like the thing I'd never let myself feel. Not good or bad, just true. One sip and I was back at 16, watching the ambulance drive away with my friend still inside. Another and I was in a hotel room saying goodbye to someone I knew I'd never see again, and pretending I wasn't the one choosing it. Another and I was 10, lying about the broken lamp, feeling the lie solidify something dark and useful in me. I finished the glass. It didn't refill. The room didn't move, but something in me had shifted. A release, a loosening, like a knot behind my ribs had finally gone slack. Then I looked up at the board again. The rules were gone. In their place, one line, fresh chalk, still flaking dust. Confession due. And that's when I realized I hadn't walked into a bar at all. I'd walked into a story. One that already knew how it ended and what it wanted from me. At first I thought maybe I'd imagined the writing, hallucinated it maybe. alcohol and atmosphere doing their usual dance. But when I blinked again, the words on the slate hadn't changed. Confession due. I sat there for a long while, letting the silence get comfortable. No music, no hum of the refrigerator, no distant chatter from other rooms. Just the sound of my breath and the faint clink of ice melting in an empty glass I didn't remember finishing, and the soft groan of the bar as if the wood itself had just shifted to listen. It didn't feel like I was being watched. It felt like I was being heard. "I'm not Catholic," I said, "in case that matters." The chalk didn't move. No booming voice, no unseen bartender. Just the feeling that something was waiting. I cleared my throat. "I once stole rent money from a friend," I said. "I told him landlord shorted us. Didn't need the cash, just wanted to know if I could get away with it." The candle nearest to me flickered, just once. Not like a draft, like a nod, encouragement. I laughed, short and bitter. "I guess that's not enough, huh?" The second glass appeared, same as the first, black as night with no moon, cold and steaming at once. I didn't hesitate this time. I drank. The second pour hit harder. Not alcohol, not exactly. It wasn't about what I tasted. It was about what I remembered. I remembered sitting in the passenger seat while my brother drove. Both of us, 3 drinks deep, and pretending not to be. I remember laughing too loud. I remembered being the one who convinced him it was fine, that we were fine. I remembered the sound of the guardrail, the smell of oil, the silence after impact. I remembered how I told everyone he insisted on driving, and I remembered that no one asked twice. The glass was empty again. The chalkboard was blank again. And I wasn't sitting anymore. I was leaning over the counter, one palm flat on the wood, breathing like I'd run 6 flights of stairs. "You feel lighter, don't you?" The voice came from behind me. Soft, warm, familiar in the worst way. The way the voices are familiar in dreams when they don't belong to anyone you know, but you still want them to stay. I turned. She stood at a far end of the bar. The bartender, her hair like wet smoke, jacket rolled up to her elbows, tattoos on her arms that writhed when I blinked. Her eyes weren't eyes at all, just deep, dark circles that seemed to widen the longer you looked. She was drying a glass with a towel that looked more like linen than cloth. She wasn't smiling, but her mouth was shaped like she just finished one. "You're almost done." "With what?" "Pouring out." "I thought you were the one pouring into me." She tilted her head. "You drank the first one. The rest comes from you." I wanted to ask what that meant. I really did. But that moment, the words formed. The mirror behind the bar changed. There hadn't been a mirror before. I was sure of it. Now there was. Tall, straight with condensation. The kind of mirror that you'd find in a room where nobody looks at themselves too long. But it didn't reflect me. Not quite. It reflected a version of me. One slightly older, slumped, gray where I wasn't. Eyes too clear to be mine. He looked at me like he'd been watching this entire time. "I've seen this before." The bartender nodded. "You've told it before." The words hit me like a second bore to the chest. This wasn't the first time. This wasn't the first time. I backed away from the mirror. No. I'm just drunk. This is just a weird dream, a blackout loop, a punishment fantasy. The bartender didn't move. Not a dream, but not entirely yours either. I didn't come here willingly. You came because you're ready. Ready for what? Her smile came back, just the shape of one. To pay what you owe. My glass was full again. I don't remember seeing it poured. I picked it up, hand shaking now. It was warmer this time, still black, still bottomless, still full of things I didn't want to taste again. I looked at the mirror. That version of me, the one behind the glass, raised his glass too. And then he mouthed something I couldn't hear. I tried to read his lips, over and over, until I realized what he was saying. He left the wrong part behind. The drink burned going down this time. Not in the throat, deeper, chest, spine, memory. It tasted like regret curdled into heat, like the smell of wet concrete, like the name of someone I loved, but couldn't say aloud without ruining everything. And when I finished, I understood something awful. I didn't want it to stop. The black pour made me feel lighter. Every truth I gave it hollowed me out just a little more, like peeling off layers I never wanted but somehow still missed. Like I was finally carving down to something clean. But that mirror wouldn't stop watching, and the version of me in it was smiling now. Not friendly, not cruel, just patient. Tell me what I gave you. The bartender tilted her head again. Same smile, same dry glass in her hand. You already know. I don't. You do. You just don't remember. The fifth rule glowed behind her on the slate board now, bright and steady. Number 5. Debt must match the poor. I gave you my guilt. She nodded. And? My secrets. Another nod. My grief. The smile deepened. And? I stared at the glass in my hand, empty again, fingers cramping from holding it too tight. The answer rose slow and sank in the back of my mind, like something I'd buried alive. My voice. The candles flickered. The mirror shivered. The version of me in the reflection mouthed one more thing. It wasn't enough. That's when the patrons appeared. I don't know how many. Half a dozen, maybe more, sitting along the bar, spaced evenly, eyes forward, each of them nursing the black drink, all of them silent, but their eyes were my eyes. Different lives, different ages, different timelines, but every one of them, me. And I realized they weren't just other versions. They were echoes of the night I'd sat here before. All the times I'd come back, all the times I told the story. The bar didn't take memories. It didn't take guilt or pain or even voice. It took the parts of you that connected them. The part that says, that was me. The part that lets you say, I remember, therefore I am. I dropped the glass. It didn't shatter, it just disappeared. I want it back. Whatever I gave, I want it back. The bartender stepped closer. You ever see someone move without stepping? Like a glitch in the room? She was closer now. Her face right in front of mine. Eyes like total mouths. Teeth too perfect. You want it back? Then tell the story again. And I couldn't. I opened my mouth, and nothing came. Not because I was choking, not because I was afraid, because I couldn't remember how it started. Was it a bar? Was it an alley? Was it a fight? A woman? A brother? A glass? I looked down at my hands and didn't know whose they were. I gave you the part of me that could tell truth from fiction. She nodded. And now, we'd like the part that knows the difference. She poured again. The final drink. They looked like ink, like oil, like memory before it's made. And I understood. The black pour doesn't intoxicate. It rewrites. I drank. The mirror went dark. The slate board erased itself. The lights dimmed. The other patrons vanished. The bartender vanished. Except one person, still sitting at the bar. Same coat, same face, same broken mouth. Me. And now I was holding the towel, drying the glass, looking up as the doors opened again. Do you ever walk into a bar you've never seen before and swear you've been there? Smell something familiar in your drink. Feel the words come too easy, like they're not yours. That's the pour working. You already started drinking. You just don't remember the price. The first time I served the drink, I didn't realize I was the one holding the bottle. I just felt the weight. Cool glass, full of something that didn't slosh, didn't shift, just waited. The bar was empty except for one figure at the far stool, hood pulled low, coat wet with rain that hadn't fallen yet. They didn't look up when I poured, didn't speak when I told them the rules. Just drank. The mirror behind is quiet now, blank, not reflecting, not even me. Like it's waiting for a new story to start, or an old one to loop again. The others don't say. They flicker in and out. Other pourers, other patrons, all of them former versions of the same thing. Maybe I'm still in rotation. Maybe this is just my shift. Time doesn't pass here, not the way that you think. You only notice it when someone new walks in. That's how you know the season has changed. And they always walk in the same. Confused, tired, half remembering something they thought they left behind on a bathroom floor or inside a voicemail they never sent. They said, and I pour. They always ask the same questions, eventually. What did I give up? Can I take it back? Was I always meant to end up here? I never answer because I don't remember anyone, if I'm supposed to. All I know is the bottle never empties. Sometimes when I'm alone, I talk. Not to anyone, just to the room. Stories, fragments, echoes. I tell them to the shelves, to the floor, to the board with the rules that never change. I say something I don't remember living through. I say things in other voices. Sometimes I hear my own voice on the wind and don't know if it's coming out of me or into me. That's how I know the pour still lives in me, still works. You ever drink alone and feel like you're not? That's the bar. You ever wake with words in your mouth you didn't say? That's the pour. You ever tell a story to a stranger and feel like you're reading a script? That's me. I don't get thirsty anymore. I just get ready. And when I'm not here, when I slip through the cracks and walk outside in someone else's dream, or voice, or story, I find my way back, because the bar always finds me. Even when I forget where I am. Even when I forget who I am. That's the last part it takes. You don't find the bar. The bar finds you. And when it does, don't ask for what you gave. It's already pouring that into someone else. So, raise your glass. If it's full, speak clearly. Then remember, the drink never leaves you. It just waits. its turn.
You never were one to disappoint, Gem.
Look, the recorder.
It's recorded your name.
Who knows how this ends? Let's maybe call it a night.
Yeah. Ugh, I'm beat.
Agreed. Hello, everyone. Just wanted to come on here and say a massive thank you to the actual author and creator of this entire project, which is going to be a series that is on multiple different people's channels that are all linked together. Once again, this is episode number 5, so I would highly recommend you go listen to every single part. The script and the story were both written by Jimmy Horrors. He was the creator of this actual story called The Black Porn. Tell Me Another Dead Air is a production of Dissonance Media, and so far they have Phoenix Fire, Ranger Harper from Morbid Forest, Ponch Monster, Vidith, Jimmy Horrors, 242, and me. You can find the link to each episode in the video notes down below in the description. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. This was very fun. Like, this is crazy. This is months in the works. And just to see it all come together, because Jimmy Horrors hasn't stopped working, dude. Like, it's like every other day we're getting a message about, hey, fix this. And I can vouch for that. Because if you have a vision, then you must chase it. So once again, Jimmy Horrors, thank you for allowing me to be part of this. But with that being said, stay safe, stay scary, and I'll see you in the next one.